So I welcome back to the part of the analysis of the trusses. So today we are going to see what are the various methods by means of which I can analyze a truss, what is the difference between the various methods, and what are the various steps which are to be followed while doing the analysis of the trusses. So let us see what are the various methods of the analysis of the trusses. Is it okay? So basically, as usual, there are two methods, one is analytical and another is graphical. Today, as far as the analytical method is concerned, that we are going to discuss, in which there are two methods of analysis. First is a method of joint and second is a method of section. Is it okay? So these two methods we'll try to understand in this particular module. Is it okay? So there are two methods of analysis which is to be done analytically. Is it okay? So method of joint and method of section. Let us see one by one. So first is method of joints. So from the name itself you might have understood, I will be focusing on every joint or some joint and I will analyze that particular joint one by one. So if we are talking about a truss, you can bring any truss image in your mind and see how many joints are there. So whatever number of joints are available in that particular truss, we have to move or focus on that given joint which is to be analyzed. Is it okay? So in method of joint, we are going to analyze the joints. Is it okay? So here is a truss. So in this case, as usual, the very first job is to do what? Check out whether it is a perfect or imperfect type of a truss. Is it okay? So first job is to check the type of truss. M is equal to 2j minus 3. So number of members here are equal to 3. How many joints? 3. So 3 is equal to 2 into 3 minus 3 is equal to what? 3 again. So 3 is equal to 3. So this is a perfect truss. Is it okay? Now we have understood it is a perfect truss. Second thing we have to understand is what are the different supports provided here. So at A there is a hinge support and at C there is a roller support. Is it okay? So here if I consider the whole truss, so two reactions here and one reaction here. So overall there are three reactions. Is it okay? Now if you remember in the analysis of the frame, I said in most of the cases of the analysis of the frames, we have to consider the equilibrium of whole frame or the truss and find out the support reactions. Is it okay? So I assume these are the reactions here and all these reactions are to be initially found out. Is it okay? So these are the three reactions. Now consider the equilibrium of whole frame, which is going to give you a coplanar force system where there are three conditions of equilibrium available. By applying three conditions of equilibrium, you will be getting three equations, and solving these three equations, you will be getting these three unknowns. Is it okay? So this is what is the first job whenever we come across any of the frame or a truss. But right now we are dealing with the truss, and in which we are dealing with the method of joint. In that also, first of all, first part is going to be common. Consider the equilibrium of the whole frame and find out the support reactions. Why it is necessary? Because if I draw the free body diagram of every joint, and there that I will try to make you understand in the next part. So one thing is very much sure, whenever we come across any of the truss, first job is to check out the type of truss, perfect or imperfect. Next to that, what we have to do? We have to find out the support reaction. What are these supports? These are the supports which are provided externally. So A support is hinge support which is provided externally to this truss. C is the external support at C. Is it okay? So this is how we'll be considering this as a whole system and find out the external support reaction by the three conditions of equilibrium. And once you find out those, now externally no unknown is remaining to be found out. We have found out HA, we have found out VA, we also found out VC. So externally no unknown is remaining now. I cannot say right now this is a member which I don't know, this is a member which I don't know, this is another member which I don't know. All these three members are carrying the force, but I don't know the magnitude. But now at this moment I cannot say there is a force here. Why? Because it is not yet been cut. When there will be existence and you will be understanding, if I cut it into the pieces, is it okay? Then only there will be the occurrence. Right now what is happening? Force from this end, if it is like this, force from this end, if it is like this, they have to be equal, opposite and collinear. So ultimately force is equal to 0. So that is why initially I have considered the equilibrium of whole frame and find out the external support reaction. Now beyond that, whatever procedure is to be adopted, may it be method of joint or method of section, first two are inevitable. Find type of truss and find out external support reaction. There is exemption. There is one exemption in which I don't have to find out the external support reaction. That I will tell you when we shall be dealing with that specific problem. But in most of the cases, first job is to find out external support reaction after finding out type of truss. Is it okay? So here I have found out horizontal vertical reactions at A and C. Now next to this, what we have to do? As we are doing the analysis by the method of joint, so I will be focusing on individual joint. So first of all, try to understand how many joints are there. First joint, second joint and third joint. Encircle those. So the same truss, first joint, second joint and third joint. Is it okay? So these are the three joints which I have encircled. Now just what we have to do? We have to draw the free body diagram of all these circles. If you remember what we did into the equilibrium of cables, there also whatever junction we had, that junction was been isolated, and whatever was coming under that particular circle, that was treated as the free body diagram. So here you may see these arrows. Is it okay? These are my assumed direction. Why? How you can see they are equal opposite. They are equal opposite. They are equal opposite. Means they will be cancelling each other. Ultimately the force will be equal to 0 in those member. But the moment I isolate the joints from each other, is it okay? So I will draw the separate free body diagram for B, for A and for C. Let us see how that is to be drawn. So here these are the three. Check it once again. Whatever is available in this circle, there are three circles. So that is to be exaggerated and taken as the free body diagram of joint A, joint B and joint C. You can see here HA, VA, force in AB, force in AC. Here VD, force in CA, force in BC. Is it okay? So you can see here. So this is the force in AC, force in AB, this is force in AB, this is force in BC, this is force in CA. Is it okay? So this is how I have drawn the free body diagram of each and every joint. Now what is the second thing to be done? Just consider all these various as the concurrent force system. As I have told you earlier, whenever I will be considering an individual joint, in that case it is going to form a concurrent force system. Now it has been proved here. All the forces, their line of actions are passing through the same point. Is it okay? So this is a concurrent force system. Same is the case with the joint B as well as joint C. So all these are the three concurrent force system. And in concurrent force system, how many conditions are available? There are two conditions are available. Is it okay? Sigma fx and sigma fy. Means out of these three, count the number of unknowns. So here 1, 2. Already we have found out HA and VA by considering the equilibrium of whole frame. Here this force and this force. Is it okay? Here this force and this force. So all the various joints are having only two unknowns. Here two unknowns and two unknowns. So here I can start with any joint. Take A joint, B joint or C joint. Is it okay? And applying sigma fx and sigma fy is equal to 0, you will be able to find out this force as well as this force. So everywhere it has been very much clear. So it is forming a concurrent force system. When we have n number of joints, count the number of unknowns in each and every joint and start with the minimum number of unknowns. Is it okay? And minimum is how much? That is equal to 2. There should be minimum 2 number of unknowns. Is it okay? So that is how we have to start with the joint which has only 2 maximum number of unknowns. Is it okay? So fortunately in this, in all the 3 joints we have 2, what we can say force is unknown. Is it okay? Now after this, after isolating it from the surrounding, drawing the free body diagram, we have to give the names. So this is a force in the member AB. Is it okay? If this is AB, what will be this? This is also AB. This is the force in member AC. Force in AC. If this is AC, this has to be FAC. And if this is FBC, this has to be FBC. So give the names. And after finding out those various forces, FAB, FAC and FBC, this is FBC. Is it okay? So once you find out all these various unknowns, and if I keep it in an original position, so what I have to do in this, whatever answers I have got here, if this is suppose 2 kilonewton, and here one more thing I have remained to tell you, see here, this arrow is pulling the joint. This arrow is pulling the joint. So exactly opposite should be happening here. This arrow has to pull the joint. As it is pulling, so the nature of this force will be tensile. So this you will come to understand. If I assume like this, away from the joint, and if the answer come out to be positive, means my assumption was correct. It is pulling, so it is tension. Just equal opposite and collinear to the other joint. Is it okay? Now after analyzing, I came to here understand that this is FAC. It is not positive, it is negative. If the answer come out to be negative, what does it mean? It is not away from the joint, it is toward the joint. If this arrow is toward the joint, this arrow also has to be toward the joint. Can you say this? Because they have to be always equal opposite and collinear. Same is the case. If this joint is away and if the answer come out to be positive, means assumed direction is correct. If this arrow is pulling the joint B, so exactly opposite is going to happen. This joint is also going to pull the thing. If this is pulling, so this arrow also has to pull it. Is it okay? And after finishing with this, we have found out the magnitude as well as the direction. Now it is not called as direction, but it is called as the nature of the force. If it is plus, it is tension. If it is minus, it is compression. So there are only two types of forces acting here, which are axial, which are passing from joint to joint, which are being transferred from joint to joint, and their nature is always either the force is compressive or the force is tensile. Is it okay? So there are only two natures of the forces acting along the member at the various joints. So here you can see it is pulling, so it is tension. It is pulling, so it is tension. It is pushing now. In this is pushing, so it is compression. Here also this is pushing the joint, so it is compressing the joint, so it is compressive force. Is it okay? So this is how we have to analyze, and once you work out all the magnitude, directions or the nature of this particular forces, those are to be shown in the initial figure. So answer was positive, so tensile. Answer was, for example, it is like this, so this has to be equal opposite and collinear. If this is like this, it has to be equal opposite and collinear. Is it okay? So here from the, consider this arrow, what it is doing to A joint, it is pulling, so it is tensile. What is doing here? It is tensioning the joint A and B, so it is again tension. These are all hypothetical arrows. Actual arrows we will be seeing when we will be solving the problem. Here this arrow is compressing, so it is compression. So every arrow near the joint, what it is doing, we have to check that. That will decide what type of a nature of the force it is. Is it okay? So this arrow near this joint, is compressing the joint, so it is compressive. So as this is compressive, equal opposite and collinear, so this also has to be a compressive force. Is it okay? So this is the way how we have to analyze a particular truss by means of method of joints. Is that okay? I think I should stop for now, because if I onward proceed further, that total syllabus cannot be completed within the stipulated remaining time. So today we will be stopping here. If still you come across certain problem, drop me a message in the drop box. I will definitely answer the queries. So with this I will be concluding for today. See you in the next class with the further learning on this engineering mechanics, to be specific, analysis of the process. Thank you very much.